Wow, this is very self-exploratory, this video. Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Meg Lee from Creatively, and in this video I'm going to be reading some of my old poetry. So these are all going to be from my book, which I published in 2019. Most of these poems I wrote in 2018 or even earlier. And I haven't read them in maybe a couple years. It could have even been around the time I met my husband. The night we met, I read from this book, sort of an open mic, and then afterwards he bought this book. This is the copy that he got, and the rest is history. So poetry, you know, love, it all. It's all connected. A stereotype that actually happened. I don't know which poems I'm going to read yet. I thought it would be fun to draw them. I think I'm going to draw about 10 poems. We'll find out together which ones they are. I will rate them, maybe talk through them a bit. I do have some favorites that if I don't draw any of them out, I might just read them anyway. But I don't know what those are going to be either. I don't know which ones I'll pick out. So we'll do 10 plus some bonus ones. Also, if you're new to my channel, I make videos about anything creative really. In this case, poetry. I do have links in the description below for ways you can purchase this book, but don't feel obliged to. It would be great, but I'm also just so thankful for you watching and being here. Let's get started. All right. This isn't the cutest jar we own, but it was the only empty one I could find. Actually, it wasn't even empty. I had to take stuff out and they're now sitting in a pile, in a mess. Let's see which one I draw first. I don't want to just pick the top ones. I want to mix them up a bit, just for fun. Okay. This is the first one. Okay, the beginning. I know where that one is. I put it at the end of the beginning section. Also, all my poems are pretty short. It has 3 sections. The first one is step 1, find yourself discontented. The second section is step 2, take a leap into the wild air. Step 3 is find yourself refined. Okay, so the beginning. I'm exhausted because I never find myself anywhere but the beginning. Progress must be transparent and success a mere presence. I sense that I will meet the sky, but the runway has been endless. So this one, I might rate that one 3? Maybe a tad low. It's alright. Nothing about it is something I extremely love about it, but I think I described what I was feeling pretty well. Which is that with my hopes and dreams where I planned to take my life at the time, none of them were actually happening. I had so many and they were all very close, but I had nothing to show for them. It just felt like things were taking ages. Part of it was never publishing anything, never finishing anything I wrote, so this was definitely a first step in that direction. I had not moved to the UK yet, and I always dreamed of moving away and living in the UK, and I was working on that at the time and saving up for that. So yeah, I just had lots of hopes and dreams for my future creative projects I wanted to do. While there are so many things that I planned to do at that point and still plan to do and haven't happened, a lot of them have happened, and I'm very happy with where I've gotten in my 20s and where life has taken me. I really enjoy living in England. I really love this country and my experiences here. I met my husband, got married, and that has been the biggest blessing. So yeah, that one's fun to look back on for sure. Second one, a poet. That's what it's called, a poet. Let's see if I can find that one. There it is, a poet. You live each day with your head down, a listener each day. Your collection of words has grown to include your longings each day. You long to live up to the standard, a poet someday. A poet, you long to earn the word, but you're a poet each day. This one I was trying to encourage myself. I guess probably a bit of imposter syndrome, also a bit of that feeling that Even if you haven't finished writing anything, if you haven't finished a novel, if you haven't shared any of your poems, I think all writers know that they're a writer. You have sort of a writer's brain. Especially at the time, I was doing a lot of growing, a lot of listening, taking in a lot of information and finding inspiration that way. And yeah, just having a poet's mind, a writer's mind, always writing in my head. That's just part of the process. And you don't have to have a lot to show for it right away. It's all very personal and everyone has their own pace. That's what that one's about, I suppose. A poet, I would give this one maybe a 3. I think I was pushing it a little bit, trying to encourage myself. Reads a little bit cringe to me. I don't think it's actually cringe, but it's kind of forced, I suppose, is more the word. But I do hope it encourages people. That one just felt like forced positivity a little bit. But also very true. I don't mean it's not a good message, if that makes sense. I just don't know if I executed a good poem from that message. But it's not bad either. So a 3, yeah. All right, number 3 is Morning Glory. All right, that one's a happy one as well. Some of these are kind of sad. This one is not, I don't think. Morning Glory. You are an animal, starry-eyed and raw, a midnight criminal using your senses, and you are incredible, taming your wounds. That is, if they're tameable and don't jump the fences. Hardwired instincts or learned behavior. Generations of red ink or credit hours. It's not what you may think if all you're saving is you, because no one can critique the growth of a flower. A lot of these have a similar theme. It's all about the process and trying to make friends with the process and not just the destination. Yeah, I guess that explains that one pretty much, at least the gist of it. Morning Glory, I guess I would give that one a 3. Yeah, just a 3. It's a bit middling for me. There is a line or two that I really like, but I didn't feel like I was fully expressing myself clearly. I don't get super excited when I read it, but it's all right. I do like it. So that was number 3. This is 4. Sometimes. I remember this one pretty well, actually. Sometimes. She was a pathetic excuse for herself. She waited in line, waited for the next best thing and purchased passing time. Who's to say who she'll be someday, or who she'll be tonight? Sometimes she reflects her joy, but what with the mess sometimes? Wow, there's a lot of that theme. Just a lot of struggling with feeling like I need to be doing something. I need to be doing something important, something big, something creative, really pushing myself to make things happen in life, feeling like I'm not there yet. I was trying to learn to be more positive about it. So this is kind of talking about that, trying to be positive, but what with the mess sometimes. I do really like that line. Yeah, at the time I was maybe around 22, 23. When I turned 22, I started worrying that I was getting too old, which is, I know, is crazy. When you think about it, when you're 18, everyone thinks you're young, 19, 20, 21 is young. And then 22, you're getting into your 20s and you're past all those like baby ages, baby adult ages. And you're still young, but you're no longer that 21. That was like the last like really youthful adult age. And I was like, oh no, I gotta do something big. And you don't need to do that. I was putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on myself. I'm someone who thinks about something for a long time and then out of nowhere just does it. So yeah, I guess I was just impatient about how long it takes me to process through things and get things going with creative projects or with life plans. That's how it goes. It's not a race. Yeah, but I think I expressed myself pretty well. I think that one's probably a 4.5, I would say. I like that one pretty well. All right, 5th one here. Absolute Autonomy. All right, I don't remember which one this is exactly. Oh yeah, I wrote this one after getting groceries. on a Monday. I remember it was a Monday because it was my day off. I really liked Mondays because of that at the time. And I was in our apartment in Georgia. It was a rainy day. I remember when I wrote most of these, like where I was. But there have been times where I wrote a poem and I find it later in my phone and I have no memory of writing them. There are like, I think that was just one. Yeah, it was like a mystery poem. I was like, I know I wrote this, but where did it come from? That was weird. That was a weird moment. Absolute autonomy. Ah, yep, here we go. Anticipating the freedom of my Saturday Monday, plowing through the hours, I fall only a little away. But I fall like a bike wreck in the freedom of sun or rain. My heart pounds and floats, I tell it to stay. I snack on sweets and think, what will the scale say? I try to smile and I drink my tea on grocery shopping day. This is something I'm still going through, which is, how am I using my day? Trying to use my day in a way I want and not just falling into old habits. Trying to make use of my free days and doing things that I enjoy instead of lounging around being idle, which is very necessary when I need rest, but sometimes I've had enough rest and I really just want to get out there and do something that I enjoy. Yeah, but I think I need to learn to be nice to myself when I'm struggling with that. Maybe. That one I'd give 3.5. A lot of these ratings are which ones have a line that I really like. I try to smile and I drink my tea on grocery shopping day. I can't explain why I like it, I just do. Next one. Number 6. Lullaby. Okay, this is a favorite. I have this one memorized, but I'll probably get stuck, so I need to and pause too many times. That would be a lot of editing, so I'm going to read it from the book. This one has legitimately helped me fall asleep. It gives me a lot of relief. I think this one's at the end. A lullaby. Sleep you head, now sleep. The thoughts outside you creep. I lay you low, rock to and fro, yet thoughts inside you seep. Smile you head, just be. Performances don't free. The key is to feel the lift and have color-coded plans left be. Sigh you head, maybe cry. You don't have to always try. Now why not just slip to sleep and dream all through the night? It's so relieving. And I do love the lines in it. Sleep you head, now sleep. Just telling your head to go to sleep. It just feels relieving somehow. And then smile you head, just be. Just the idea that if you're finding it frustrating going to sleep or if things in life are bothering you, that you can smile as you're falling asleep. Because all that matters right now is you just need to sleep. And nothing else has to matter. Just be. Performances don't free. The key is to feel the lift of all the burdens of the day just gone. And then sigh you head, maybe cry. So maybe smiling helps, but maybe you are sad and you just need to cry. You don't have to always try, which can sound like a negative, but it's also just like performances don't free. Just relax. You don't have to be working right now. You can be sleeping. You don't have to think about work. You don't have to think about your plans or your anxieties. You don't have to try right now. Just sleep. Just the words slip to sleep just sound really comforting, and dream all through the night just sounds comforting, and the way it rhymes, slant rhyme, but it doesn't matter. It rhymes, and it just has that sort of childhood rhyme feeling to it. Nursery rhyme almost. Yeah, this one's really comforting to me. I give that one a 5 for sure. Number 7. We're getting there. Thank you for still being here, by the way. All right, once that bare a sting. All right, once that bare a sting. A turn around and a walk away, a pointless drive and a wandering day, cold in the feet and blue in the face, powerless but free in some strange way. The place I was born put me at the part of a complex maze where the letters say start. If I choose not to go wandering far, I'll be left with only an unsolved heart. And left with things I wish I wanted, and wants that bear a sting. Pain is both for the broken-hearted and for the hearts that have no wings. Yeah, this is kind of about, again, my hopes, dreams, desires, and also a lot about wanting to move away. I had moved away from my hometown, but I had only gone a state away. Yeah, I'm from Tennessee, and it just never felt like it made sense that that was where I was from. I always dreamed of moving somewhere else one day. Left with things I wish I wanted and wants that bear a sting. I think I wish that I could be content where I was. That would make life a lot easier. It would. Visas, not fun. Very expensive to want to move away. It would have been a lot easier if I just enjoyed where I was living, but I can't help it. It's a want that bears a sting. That's what it is. It still does to this day, but it has been worth it because I have loved my time here and I met my husband and I wouldn't change any of it. I think God put that desire in my heart for a reason, and I am here for a reason. So yeah, I'm really glad I made that happen. Wow, this is very self-exploratory, this video. Once that bear a sting, I'd give that one a 3 as well. There are lots of 3s in here, I think. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 8. Round 2 at a stoplight. This one wins best title. I'm very proud of this title. I was on my way to work in Atlanta, Georgia, and there was this light every single morning. I had to go through it 2 or 3 times. Actually, I was in Tara. I remember the stoplight was near a Chuck E. Cheese. That looked very, very sad and run down. But I actually got the idea for the title alone and put it in my notes. Hoped that I could write a poem at one point that goes with that title. Sometimes I write things out of order like that. I did eventually get around to that, or it just fell into place. So, round 2 at a stoplight. Oh, this is really good, but I don't want to read this one. Okay, some of these I still like. I don't mind them being in here and being out in the world, but I don't feel like I could read them out loud. And that's okay. All right. And I do think it's a good poem, but so definitely, if you're curious, check it out. It is in the book. Oh dear. Let's do another one. I forgot that was one of those. All right. My mind. All right. Did I read that one? All right. I've been told at one point that this poem makes me sound crazy. My mind. She's a beautiful mind. She's bright and analytical, notices things other minds don't, and misses the things most see. She's supportive and reliable. She reasons with human problems and leaves some for interpretation. She forms stories and connects them to people and places, experiences. There's always a plan for the future that, unapologetically, she updates. Yes, she's a beautiful mind, and I love her, but sometimes I need a vacation. Yep. Yeah, I was just doing a lot of growth at that time, seeking inspiration. Yeah, this was a time where my creativity was soaring. I had so many ideas, and sometimes it was a lot. Both loved it and found it very tiring, and sometimes I just wanted a break. That one makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know if it does to anyone else, but I'd give that one a 4. 4.5? 4.5 maybe. All right, number 9. Big smile. This one's cute. Here we go. Big smile. I'm looking for a girl I miss. I've missed her by a mile. Can you help me find her, love? I haven't seen her in a while. You know, the girl that walks like a lady and runs just like a child. The one who has the heavy heart and always the biggest smile. Yeah, I guess that one's kind of about maybe some mental health themes of just knowing who you are and knowing the difference between who you are and what depression makes you feel like, or who depression makes you feel like you are. Yeah, just kind of missing that person when you're feeling down. This one was one that I wrote that I was like, does this exist already? It felt like I was reading it from something else. Some poems feel like that, like I've seen it before already. Not that it's overdone, but that it just feels so right. Like it just lands on the page somehow. Yeah, that one I'd give a 4 as well. I think I like it better than I used to. So, all right. Last one that we're drawing. Who's the lucky winner? Okay. Perennials, yes. This is a favorite. It's super duper short. It is also inspiration for the cover, which has some tulips around a grave. I was actually going to read this one, even if it wasn't picked. Perennials. Yet again I've fallen. My winters are always annual, which is only a matter of fact. I hide from the others. They sing hymns at my burial and rake the fresh earth flat. But I am human, and humans are perennials. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's just about when life gets hard, it's just a season of life. There is healing, there are better times to come, and it's always good to be reminded of that if life is more difficult at the time. It may feel like it's the end of the world, and it will someday again feel like it's the beginning of the world. So yeah, that one's really encouraging. This one made me 12 minutes late to work that day. I wrote it in my car as soon as I arrived in the parking lot, and I do not regret those 12 minutes being late because it's one of my favorite poems I've written. 5 stars. Sorry to my manager, not sorry. Yeah, okay, so that's 10. I'm gonna see if there are any in here that I would just love to share. Some bonus ones. Here is another favorite, super duper short, and I think I might have shared this one in my very first video, but here it is again. Playground. The world is a playground, and we are all children. We are all just children wearing out our bodies. We're all just kids wearing out our dreams. It's just a fun way to think about life. That we're all just kids getting older, but we're kids. And the world is a playground. It's just very, very joyful. That one's a 5 star for sure. This one I just really like. I don't think it's the greatest poem in the world, but it makes me so happy to remember. It's very nostalgic. It's called August 2017. Waiting for paint to stream out of my hands. I haven't smiled since 2010, but here you are with me alone, and then I find my hands dripping and dancing again. This was after a long time when I had artist block and writer's block, and there wasn't much creativity in my life. I didn't know what music to listen to, or I just felt really lost creatively, and all of a sudden that all changed, and so many ideas. I was high on creativity and in my head with characters and lots of things happening, drawing everything. Yeah, just favorite stories. But here you are with me alone would be characters and stories. So what I mean there, that was a time in my life when I was just creatively so alive and really enjoying it. So that one's very nostalgic. This one is another one that just felt like it landed on the page, as if I had written it down from somewhere else. The followers and wanderers. Follow the followers, they know where to go. They've made it a point to always know. The first one is rotten, the last one is sane. Wanderers seldom fit in with their games. And I am a wanderer, young and afraid, cursed to be lost for the rest of my days. But I hold to the hope that one of these days I'll wander until I'm far enough away. That one's about just being different, not blending in with the crowd, especially when you don't really enjoy doing that in the first place and you find yourself doing it even when you don't want to. Standing out, being yourself, being weird to the world. The first one is rotten, meaning if you're paving the way, you're the weird one and people look at you funny because you're the first one there and it seems strange. But those are the people that change the world. And when I said the last one is sane, it just means being a follower just makes you look normal. You blend in, no one questions you. It's not as much of a risk, but you're giving up part of yourself to be like that. So yeah, it kind of is an anthem. I really like that one. That one's a 5. All the bonus ones are 5s. All right, another one is High Rise. They failed to truly see her because she rarely spoke, but her gift laid the foundation, and up she rose. She never meant to be a skyscraper. That's not what she chose. She offered them something safer, but her safety was opposed. She was a force, a source of power. She reigned like a tower, the leading lady of the skyline. And when she was gone, the city never looked the same. Tourists wondered why they came, and what had happened with the time. This is based more on a character I've written than myself. Some of these I've written kind of about a character from something else I've written, and no one else but me would know, except now I'm telling you that. So, all right, 2 more. This one's really short. It's called Rain on Tuesday. I will laugh at you tomorrow. I will laugh. And when it rains on Tuesday, I will celebrate the way the headlights make the roads shine. I guess this one's about Proverbs 31, which is just a really encouraging verse about laughing at tomorrow and just the relief that it is that knowing you're taken care of, and worry is not going to add a day to your life. It's not to make you feel guilty about worrying, but just a reminder that you don't have to worry so much. It's just relieving for sure. And just laughing at the time to come. And even when things go wrong, raining on Tuesday. Tuesday's kind of a whatever day. That's why I picked Tuesday, and rain is like, ugh, sometimes. But also sometimes it can be cozy, and I enjoy sometimes when you're driving around and the pavement, the road shines with like warm light from all the headlights, and it reminds me of jazz music for some reason. But it just makes me happy to look at that. So it's kind of just finding the silver lining in the day. That everything will be okay. Even if it goes wrong, it will be okay in the end. Last one. This is one my husband and I really like. Seeing stars. All I want to do is sit in a field and watch the stars and think of all the things that humans thought of so far. Let it sink in, the vastness, the fears, and my meekness, and how humans always cling to and praise our weakness. It's been a long while since I've thought of somewhere else, and the city is too bright to be of any help. Home is where the stars are, where they burn bright above the fields, and also somewhere out there where the stars below us will appear. I really enjoy just looking out at the night sky and thinking about how I'm looking at the universe and outer space, and we're just on a floating ball. You know, it's big thoughts, and it puts things into perspective. I was missing home. I was living in Atlanta and missing living in a rural area and being able to see lots of fields around me and seeing the stars a bit better, thinking deeply about the universe. I really like the line, "The city is too bright to be of any help," in context, not on its own. So yeah, I quite like that one. Thank you so much for watching. This one was a very personal video. I feel like maybe you got to know me a bit more if you don't already know me. Yeah, it means a lot that you've listened all this way. I hope it wasn't too self-indulgent. I am trying to get better at sharing my art, sharing my poetry, putting it out there unapologetically. despite it feeling awkward and uncomfortable sometimes. So it really means a lot that you're still here and for your support watching the video. If you enjoyed it, definitely consider subscribing and liking if you haven't already. Before I go, I wanted to remind you that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and I will see you next time. Bye!